I absolutely have to go after this piece.
All I want to do is win that lot.
$750.
I want this bag of jewelry, and I don't give a what these guys try to do.
Come on!
It's going to be a battle between me and Lawrence.
800, 900.
Feels like a game of chicken.
I'm going to have a heart attack.
Every year, $15 trillion worth of property travels around the world. 1% of that gets lost. When this property goes unclaimed, it's put up for public auction and sold to the highest bidder.
Sold!
Outrageous fortune is just a suitcase away. But if you want to strike it rich, you have to take huge risks. Billy Leroy, former ad exec, flipped his first painting for 18 grand. Owns an antique and prop shop in New York City.
It's all about the art of the deal.
Mark Meyer, thrift shop owner from Long Island. At age 16, sold a vintage watch for 10 times what he paid.
I'm a hustler. I can buy and sell anything.
Lawrence and Sally Martin. He's a former aerospace engineer. She's the MBA who controls the money, and her husband. They've owned an antique store in LA for 20 years.
You have the big ideas, and you need me to help execute the big ideas.
This is Baggage Battles. Glasgow, Scotland. 250 years ago, the Industrial Revolution transformed the European city into an epicenter of finance, trade, and engineering, making it the second city of the British Empire, even with only 1/10 of the population of London. Around the same time, Glasgow established one of the first municipal police forces in the world. Today, more than 8,000 officers make up the Glasgow Police Department, and each year they recover more than $2 million worth of personal property lost around the city. If it goes unclaimed for 90 days, it's put up for auction to the general public.
This is a place that is centuries old, and the likelihood that there's something really special at this auction is much greater than if we were in Los Angeles, for example.
I brought about $4,000 to this auction. The craftsmanship in Scotland is amazing.
This is the first time I've been in Glasgow, Scotland, and it's way different than America. I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm using a different currency. I hope I don't make a big mistake at this auction.
Deep in the lowlands, this is the largest police auction in Scotland.
This auction is probably 200 or 300 people, and there's more arriving every moment.
This is a Glasgow police auction. Everything here has been seized by the police, so who knows what's inside of here.
There are close to 1,000 lots in this auction.
There's lots of lots.
Hello, how are you?
In New York, this is definitely not cool to play.
This is for smoking marijuana. It's a Scottish bong.
These copper pipes, these are hilarious.
Attention all hunchbacks.
There's a big funny value in these things. I don't know what they are, and they're just sitting in the box. I'm going to bid on them if they go for under 100 pounds.
1 British pound equals almost $2 US.
Oh my God. What could this be? Totally stumped. I have no idea what this is.
Oh, it's some kind of sex harness?
This is probably an illegal still. I'm not really sure how it works, but that's what it is.
Is that what you want, your new hobby, making whiskey?
It could be.
I absolutely have to go after this piece. It's a snuff malt.
I've been looking for one of these for years.
It's made for snuff. British military regiments would pass it around on the table and take a hit of snuff. I have to put it back in the box right now because a lot of people are looking at me and it's costing me money, okay? And I don't like to have things cost me money.
I gotta hide this thing, and I hope to God no one else notices it.
These look like rubies, sapphires, diamonds, but there's no real way for me to know. Looking in this bag, and one ring just screams to me. The cut of the diamond rings true. I immediately whip out my diamond tester. Anyone is allowed to use a diamond tester at this auction. I'm just the only one savvy enough to bring one. I want to do it as quiet as possible. The last thing I want to do is let it ring and let everybody else know that there's a big diamond in there. I'm really thinking this is real, but there's like a 50% chance that it's not.
It's a snuff mold made to hold snuff. It's like at the end of the shelf, it's all wrapped up. But this item is bar none the most interesting item in this entire auction. Well, normally they sell for $200 or $300.
500 pounds is basically what we want to bid on it.
It's heavy. Some kind of farm equipment. There's nothing in this box of any interest at all. At first, I thought it was interesting, but it's not anymore. It is finished.
At this auction, it's a real small room. There's a lot of buyers.
Bid me, start me, get me away. What is it? 50, 60, 70, 80.
She's a really good auctioneer. And the reason I say that is because
At 205, at 205, 210 pounds.
auction is cute.
Okay, lot 118, quantity of gold-coloured bracelets.
I want this bag of jewelry because there's 3.5 ounces of 9-karat gold in there. This is a valuable bag. I'm willing to go up to 1,200 pounds to get it, and I don't give a what these guys try to do.
20, at 20 pound and a half, at 20 pound.
200.
200, thank you. 300, 350, 400.
The auctioneer turns around, and like if you hold your hand up too fast, she'll jump back and forth between the two.
700, at 700, I'll take 50. 700, at 700 pounds.
750.
I've seen this kind of character before, and I can tell he's not letting it go until I bring it right to the limit.
1,000, 1,000, 1,050, 1,050.
Come on.
Thank you. It only takes one guy at the auction to really cause a dent in my pocket.
Lot number 300 is a box with pipes.
These things are crazy. They're like Jules Verne-looking contraption.
20, at 20 pound and a half, at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Anybody else at 100? Once.
I'm out.
Twice. Third last.
I don't know exactly what they are, but I have a feeling about those pipes, and I'm really curious.
Okay, lot 457 is a box, comes with tools.
The real thing I see in that box is that red hand crank thing. I think there's some value there, and I think these local Scotsmen aren't going to pick up on it.
1 pound. 5.
5, got 5, 10, 15, 40, at 40 pound, 50. Anybody else 50 pound, at 50 pound and a half, in the cap.
Come on.
Once, twice, third last.
She's costing me some money.
299 box with animal's horn.
This is really personal to me, and I really want to win this. I'm worried about Lawrence, because Lawrence knows his English history. And if he latches onto this thing, it's going to be a battle between me and Lawrence.
Bid me, start me, get me away. What is it?
20.
This item is precisely what we like to find. All I want to do is win that lot.
80, 100, 120. In the middle, 140.
I would be surprised if Billy was to bid this up over the £500.
Bid up. Bid up.
260, 280, 300. He wants it, I'll take 50, 350.
500.
I want a snuff mull. I've wanted a snuff mull for years, and I'm going to buy it. I'm going for broke on this thing.
At 800, 900, 1,000. This is a fancy horn at 1,000.
I want to kill Lawrence. I've wanted a snuff mull for years.
Feels like a game of chicken.
The thing is going way too high. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Is anybody else at 1,800? You sure? 1,800. Once, twice. 1,850. Just in. 1,900.
The auctioneer is dragging it on.
Anybody else at 1,900?
Don't you want it? Don't you want it? It was like looking at Satan. It was like nuts.
1,950. 2,000 pound. At 2,000 pound and a half. At 2,000 pound. Once. You out? Twice.
He's out.
Third last.
It feels really good. It's expensive. It's because of him.
Made him pay. Made him pay.
This snuff mull is definitely one of the most unique items I've seen at an auction in a long time. I'm angry I didn't get that. I mean, that's not fair.
We paid £2,000, which is a lot of money. But I feel so thrilled. We beat Billy out.
I'd like to pick up my items and pay for them.
£290 is your total.
Can I just see the description?
Your gold-coloured bangles and bracelets to include Juicy Couture 158 for £50.
I think there's been a mix-up, because I don't remember buying Juicy Couture for £50.
Mark, they got them mixed up, dude. I didn't buy bangles.
Gold-coloured bangles and bracelets to include Juicy Couture.
I don't buy Juicy Couture.
Okay, lot 106, selection of gold-coloured bangles and bracelets to include Juicy Couture. 10, 20 at £20 a half. 30, 40, 50. Once, twice, third and last.
Juicy Couture. I don't even remember buying this bag. They said I bought it. I normally don't buy this kind of thing. What I'm hoping is that one of these is gold. Brass. This one says, when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. This is the kind of thing I can pawn off on Mark. I spent £100 on some copper tubing. It looks cool. It looks remotely scientific. There's 2 pieces of big copper, and that's it. No, we're here in Glasgow, Scotland, and there's a lot of distilleries here, and there's a lot of whiskey makers. This could be a distilling contraption. If these tubes are a legitimate distilling thing, they've got to be worth more than £100.
We paid £2,000 for this animal horn in a box.
Lot 299. This particular piece, it's got some really interesting hallmarks on it. They're probably Scottish hallmarks. You know, and look at this inscription that's on it. See this? Look? With a military plaque on it, I think myself it's probably going to be worth about £5,000. I think it actually deserves to be in a museum.
Look at this. See where it's been repaired here? We didn't look carefully enough. If there's damage, the value just can be knocked in half. I just have a knot in my stomach and a sinking feeling. It isn't just that we paid $2,000, it's that we paid £2,000. Don't you think that anything repaired, there's an issue with it?
This is an original piece. It's only one in the world. It's like a Leonardo da Vinci. If you find it, it's got a hole in the canvas. It doesn't really matter.
You see, I pay the bills. I'm worried that this horn in a box that we bought is worth less than $1,000. I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to make our money back.
It really speaks to me. Hello. And I think it's saying to me, I'm really glad you bought me, and I'm going to be worth a lot of money.
Spent £2,100, which is about $3,500 US. So I'm gonna go through the box of tools, gonna get through the jewelry, and I'm gonna make some money. This is the bag that I paid more than what the gold was worth, and there's a very specific reason as to why. I used my diamond tester at the auction through the bag, but the last thing I wanted to do, have it go beep, 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 while the 20 people around me saw what I was doing. So I only put it till right before it beeps, and the way it felt really makes me think this is real. I'm super excited for this. If this ring is a dud, I'm gonna lose big, and if it's a winner, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Lamp on, lamp ready.
Unfortunately, you can see there has been some damage. There's been a big chunk taken out of it here.
The damage really is significant. We way overpaid for something.
Lamp on, lamp ready. If this ring is real, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Yeah. Yeah, baby. This diamond ring is real. I'm thinking it's gonna be worth in excess of 2,000 pounds. Let me spell it out for you. That's almost 4,000 big bucks. It's too good. See? Even the horse agrees. Wow. All right, now this is the piece that really intrigued me. I've seen similar stuff back home, but I've never seen this. This moves back and forth. This is a heavy cast iron piece. Red, I'm thinking farm implement. I don't know what it's used for. It's definitely cool. In New York, I'm really good at pricing tools. But I'm not in New York, and this is really foreign to me. These tools look like they're only used on a farm. So that's where I'm gonna go to get it checked out. You know, I bet I could probably convince Lawrence and Sally this plays records.
I paid £100 for these copper pipes. I think they have something to do with making liquor.
I don't know what they're worth, so I'm going to go to a local Scotsman and have my pipes checked out.
With the spouts and the screws, I think you're looking at something that's made for distilling something. Although it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in a proper distillery.
Oh, wow. Normally, Scotch whiskey is made in a proper, licensed distillery. This is a homemade farmer's distiller.
I would take it off your hands for you if you want, to take all the hassle off you.
What would you use this for?
Well, obviously I wouldn't use it for making anything like whiskey at all, because I don't have a distilling license.
So, if we did make some illegal moonshine, would it actually taste good?
I'd drink it.
Just to make it worth my while, I'd have to sell it for like £200.
£200? Yeah. 100% markup? You're worse than me.
Okay, well, what do you think the copper's worth? I mean,
Right,
the
the
copper's
scrap value of it's probably worth about 20 quid. I'll give you 80 for it.
Anything I can get for it. This moonshine kit, I'll be happy, because I can't bring it through U.S. Customs. They're going to look at me like I'm crazy, and they're going to lock me up. $125 and a pint.
Right, okay, but not a pint of whiskey.
This whole Scotland trip was a total wash. Now it's time to drown my sorrows.
What are you having?
I don't know. You got a Bud Light?
We're out in the middle of nowhere. The only neighbors here are sheep. The only way I'm going to find out how these tools are used is to go talk to a man's man. I guarantee he'd be the one to know. So the real reason I bought the box is this cool machine, and I don't know what it is.
This is a sharpener for electric shears that are used for shearing sheep. If you imagine the modern sheep shearing blade, you would sit it in, held down by that, and then as you turn it, as you see, it moves up and down.
This contraption is a hand crank mechanism that spins sandpaper to make sure that the shears are nice and sharp when they go to cut the wool off the sheep. Are these common to see in Scotland?
I've worked in a lot of farms shearing, and I've never seen one of these.
If this Scottish farmer hasn't ever seen one of these machines, it might be worth quite a bit of money.
The electric version of this, when you're talking about £800–900 to buy.
So if the electric one's £800 or £900,
yeah,
how much do you think this might be worth?
You get two people that like it, and you could get £100 for it.
So it's weird and unusual to me. I'm thinking if I take it back to New York, I might be able to get a bit more for it. What are you thinking?
What you're going to do with it in New York, I do not know.
This item's only use right now is pure decoration. I don't think anybody's going to waste their time hand cranking that old bastard.
We have to take this animal horn with the box to an expert of horns in a box.
What you have here is a Victorian ram's horn table snuff mull. Snuff is simply ground tobacco leaves. It's a way of taking tobaccoless in a smokeless fashion, and it was considered very civilized. Imagine, after dinner, this would be placed in the center of the table, and people would come, dip in their spoon, take their snuff straight up their nose, and that's how you take it. You literally put the spoon straight to your nose, hold one nostril.
We love this piece, but we spent a lot of money on this. So I'm worried about whether we've made a wise decision.
Okay, so having a wee look at it here, I can see there has been some damage that it's incurred. There's been a big chunk taken out of it here. Let's have a look. Are there any cracks? There's a nice crack along here.
The damage really is significant. The knot in my stomach at this point in time, it just gets heavier. We spent a lot of money on this.
There's been a big chunk taken out of it here. Let's have a look. Are there any cracks? There's a nice crack along here.
The damage really is significant. The knot in my stomach at this point in time, it just gets heavier.
I'm banking my money on this plaque here pushing the price up.
I hope Lawrence is right, because I'm not happy thinking that we've way overpaid for something.
So what makes this an interesting item I'm looking at here, this mount, is it's been presented to the officers of an Edinburgh artillery militia designed by a nice man called Major J.R. Peploe in the year of 1885.
This would have been used by all the soldiers of the regiment.
Exactly, yeah, it's been well loved and it's been used by some really, important people. It's got that strange hybrid thing, it's got the militaria, it's got the tobacconalia, it's got that.
In the American market, what do you think the highest this could reach?
I do think that in America, this item would do better than it would in Scotland, for example. In America, you can really sell this item as a true piece of Scottish heritage. It's got the military, it's got the regiment attached to it. It's a ram's horn, it looks amazing. I think that in the American market, this could potentially reach £5,000–6,000. £6,000? Approximately $8,000 to $10,000.
Oh, a big smile!
I'm really relieved.
I'm relieved. Yeah.
The knot in my stomach is gone. Overall in Scotland, we quadrupled our money in the long term.
Okay, the new laddie.
Mark dug himself a hole with the farming tools, but said I do to a diamond ring, making him a brilliant $2,200. Billy's bidding was not up to snuff, costing him extraordinary heartache and a sheepish loss of $25. Sally and Lawrence locked horns with Billy over the Scottish mole and emerged unscathed, shepherding a $5,400 profit.